Right everyone, brace yourselves because the bombshell that's just dropped in Turin could completely change Tottenham January transfer window. We're talking about a deal that's absolutely heating up right now, and Spurs are genuinely in the race for a 25-year-old striker who could solve our problems up front. The competition is fierce, Chelsea are in the mix, and the next few hours could be absolutely crucial. Stay until the end because this news is going to blow your mind. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on this saga. I can confirm that Tottenham Hotspur have launched an official inquiry for the Canadian striker. Multiple sources close to the club are telling me that the interest is concrete, and assessments are being made right now at Hotspur Way. David signed for Juventus just this summer from Lille, but things haven't gone according to plan in Turin. Just one goal so far this season, and crucially, he's failed to convince new Juve boss Luciano Spalletti and his coaching staff. Here's where it gets interesting. Juventus are now ready to reflect on a January exit. They want to reshape the squad, and more importantly, they're looking to get David €6 million per year salary. That's around £5.2 million off their wage bill. The old lady are open to business, and that's opened the door for Premier League clubs. If you love Tottenham as much as we do, smash that subscribe button and join our journey to 900 subscribers together. Let's back the boys. Now, the competition. Chelsea are also in the mix. Both London clubs are making their assessments, and this could turn into a proper battle for his signature. But here's the context. Tottenham need is urgent. With Randall Colomwani now facing 2 months or more on the sidelines, the number 9 position has become a critical problem area for Thomas Frank. The squad depth just isn't there, and January can't come soon enough. David represents an interesting profile, 25 years old, proven goal scorer at Lille, and despite his struggles at Juventus, the talent is undeniable. The question is whether he can adapt to the intensity of the Premier League and whether Spurs are willing to take on that wage structure mid-season. But there's a twist. Reports from Gazzetta dello Sport suggest that Dusan Vlahovic, another Tottenham target, is now more likely to stay at Juventus. Spalletti has moved the Serbian up his pecking order, which is a blow considering Fabio Paratici was reportedly keen on bringing Vlahovic to North London in January. So the focus may well shift entirely to David. From a tactical standpoint, this makes sense for Spurs. Frank needs a mobile, technically capable forward who can link play and finish chances. David fits that profile, even if his confidence is low right now. The Premier League could be the fresh start he needs, and Tottenham's system could unlock what we saw at Lille, a deadly finisher with intelligent movement. Now, let me give you my honest take on this as a Spurs supporter. I'll be straight with you, I have mixed feelings about Jonathan David. On one hand, his record at Lille was exceptional. We're talking about a striker who consistently delivered in League One and the Champions League, someone who knows where the goal is and has that natural instinct we desperately need. But on the other hand, I'm concerned about his struggles at Juventus. Yes, Serie A is a tough league to adapt to, and yes, maybe the system doesn't suit him, but 1 goal in half a season, that's worrying, no matter how you spin it. Here's what concerns me most. We've been burned before by strikers who looked brilliant elsewhere but couldn't handle the Premier League's intensity. The pace, the physicality, the relentless pressure, it's a different beast entirely. And at £5.2 million per year in wages, this isn't a low-risk gamble. That's serious money for someone whose confidence appears to be at rock bottom. We need to ask ourselves, are we buying a player with genuine quality who's been misused, or are we taking on another club's problem? Because let's be honest, Juventus don't let go of proper talent easily. If they're willing to move him on after just 6 months, that tells you something about what they've seen in training and behind closed doors. But here's where I see the opportunity. Sometimes a player just needs the right environment, the right manager, and the right system to explode into form. Look at what Thomas has done with players like Sarr, Destiny Udogie, even Brennan Johnson, who struggled early on. He gets the best out of attackers because his system creates chances, loads of them. David thrives on service, on balls over the top, on getting in behind defensive lines. That's literally what we do every single match. If we can get him on a loan deal with reasonable wages covered and an option to buy, this could be one of those genius January moves that changes our season. The upside is enormous if he clicks. What really frustrates me, though, is the Vlahovic situation. That's the striker I really wanted. Proven Premier League quality, proven top-level quality, physical, powerful, clinical, and someone who's thrived under pressure at Juventus. The fact that Paratici was pushing for him made me even more confident because he knows that club inside out, he knows the player's mentality, and he wouldn't recommend someone unless he was certain. Now hearing that Vlahovic has moved up Spalletti pecking order and is likely to stay feels like we're settling for second choice. And I hate that. We've done too much settling over the years. We need to be going after our primary targets and getting them over the line, not pivoting to alternatives because the deal gets complicated. The Chelsea element management also winds me up, if I'm being honest. Here we go again competing with Chelsea for a striker. They've got Nicholas Jackson. They've got options, yet they're still circling around every available forward in Europe. Meanwhile, we're genuinely desperate for a number 9, and we could end up in a bidding war with a club that has essentially unlimited resources. This is where our recruitment team needs to be smart. We can't get into a financial arms race with Chelsea, but we can offer things they can't: guaranteed playing time, a manager who develops attackers brilliantly, and a clear pathway to being the main man. David needs to play, he needs to rebuild his confidence, and he won't get that at Stamford Bridge where they rotate constant. We need to sell that vision. Let me also address the bigger picture here. Our striker situation this season has been nothing short of chaotic. We started with Richarlison and Solanke as our main options. Solanke got injured. Then we brought in Kolomwani, who's now out for 2 months. Son has filled in, but he's not a natural 9 and we're wasting his talents there. Ange's system lives and dies by having a mobile, hard-working striker who can press, link play, and finish. Without that, the entire structure falls apart. So yes, David might be a risk, but doing nothing is a bigger risk. We're in a battle for top 4, we're still in cup competitions, and we need bodies. Sometimes you have to take calculated gambles, and this feels like one of those moments where the potential reward outweighs the risk, especially if we structure the deal intelligently. Here's my final thought on Jonathan David. If we can get him on loan until the end of the season with an option to buy for around £25 to £30 million, I'm all in. That gives us 6 months to assess whether he's the real deal or whether his Juventus struggles are a sign of deeper issues. It takes the pressure off him, it gives Thomas time to work his magic, and it doesn't commit us to a massive permanent investment if it doesn't work out. But if Juventus are demanding a permanent transfer upfront with that full salary commitment, I'm much more hesitant. We've made too many expensive mistakes in recent years, and we can't afford another striker who doesn't deliver. The key here is structure, get creative with the deal, protect ourselves financially, but give David the opportunity to prove he belongs at this level. And one more thing I'll say, whoever we sign in January, whether it's David or someone else entirely, needs to hit the ground running. We don't have time for 3-month adaptation periods or gentle bedding in processes. We need someone who can step into the squad, understand what Thomas wants, and start contributing immediately. That's the challenge with any January signing, but it's especially crucial for us given where we are in the season. If David comes in and takes 4 or 5 games to get up to speed, we could drop crucial points that cost us Champions League football. So the scouting team and coaching staff need to be absolutely certain he's the right fit, not just on paper but in terms of mentality, work rate, and readiness to perform under pressure from day one. So here's where we stand. Tottenham have made their move, Chelsea are watching closely, and Juventus are ready to negotiate. This is a deal that could go either way, and honestly, I'm nervous about it. The potential is there, but so are the red flags. We need our leadership to be smart, decisive, and strategic. Get the structure right, protect the club financially, but back the manager with the tools he needs to compete. That's the balance we have to strike. Now, my question to you, do you think Jonathan David is the right striker for Tottenham, or should we be looking at other options? Would you take him on loan, or are you worried about his form at Juventus? And who else should we be targeting if this deal falls through? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you, especially if you think I'm completely wrong on this. And if you want to stay ahead of every Tottenham transfer update, every negotiation, every here we go moment, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications. You'll get the fastest, most reliable Spurs news delivered straight to you. We're building the best Spurs community on YouTube, and I want you to be part of it. See you in the next one. Coys.